Hey, Christina here. Welcome to my crystal art series. Today I'll be sharing the process behind my awakening from the ancient piece. Let's go. So this is my mood board, and my mood board was really honing in on the ancient undersea ruins, the mountains, the Ireland hills, the water rapids, leaves, and the aerial map. I was seeing these things looking into the Serpentine stone. Serpentine has a lot of deep greens, and they have a lot of mixtures of blues and other types of greens. It reminded me of an aerial view of a map above the ocean and seeing the other islands again. So I really wanted to hone in on something like that. So I really was looking at trying to keep to the characteristics of Serpentine because it's about channeling back to the past or the ancient times to figure out what we need to do in our present time. And that is very interesting. So I continued with that type of thought process. And the overall meaning of this piece, it's called Awakening from the Ancients. So this resonates with our past, where we have not found closure to situations, people, or things that we held on to that were weighing us down and was keeping us locked up deep within us. And it keeps our body heavy, and we need to forgive, or we need to find some closure, because we forget that those things from the past that we did not find closure will weigh us down. We never realize how much our past affects our mental health and our thought process in the present time until we awaken the past and find forgiveness or some form of closure so that you could say goodbye to that past and move forward. If we need to channel with our young child self to heal what's been hurting us for years, it's time to do so. Sometimes we think we forgot our childhood memories, but we just have been hiding them. You need to confront them and reflect and let go in order to heal your past self and unlock the true potential once the past has been resolved. So that was my story behind the piece. I thought it really speaks to what is going on today and what is currently happening, but also to people out there that have not found closure yet. And because we have the time right now to heal and reflect and to just find a new perspective on life, now is the time to do so. So I'm going to show you how I took this onto Procreate. So I started with loose thumbnail sketches and to select the final composition afterwards and drawing it in at a large scale using the Little Pine Line brush tool. I came in with the lasso tool to outline and fill in the shapes with the base color with an emerald green. Serpentine is known for their deep greens. I added in some splashes of ocean blue using the acrylic brush to create a painter-like feel, but also a feel of landforms in the aerial map view from my mood board. And I continued with that acrylic brush. I mixed it in with other colors like apple green, blue, berry blue, olive green, and leaf green. I came back in again with my eraser tool this time to create a shape within a shape to mimic the rapids and the ancient ruins within the water. And I decided to add a blue wash afterwards to have that underwater feel and play with some overlay effects to get that deep in the ocean feel, as if something in that ocean has been sitting there for a very long time and needs to come to the surface. So going back to the shape that sat within a shape, I came in with a sky blue and used the burnt tree brush to add in an ancient effect, as if it was old and rugged, coming back to life. And then to highlight that specific shape, I came in with a strong contrast using the hints of small green, but small mint green, because we had to do it a little bit lighter for it to stand out a little bit more for focal point. And I used the studio pen brush because it was very sharp and clean. And I wanted to give that feel of transformation and growth that we are channeling with our past as if we are calling to them. And lastly, I used the round brush tool to add in some light rays of light on the left side of the mountain to show a calling or a summoning for it to be awakened. And I left the underlining for an unfinished look, as if we were coming back to the past that was not yet finished or closed. So we are mending these bonds or situations so that we can complete them, close them off, and continue to move on. So taking this onto Illustrator, so I basically saved out my file as a simple JPEG, and that was from Procreate. And then in Illustrator, I made an artboard measuring at 8.5 by 11 landscape. And from there, I made 2 rectangles that were 4 by 6, and I put them together so that I can find the center line, which I made a guide to the center line, which helps to find the center point and know where the art will be sitting, which is on the right side, and the information to be on the other side. And from there, I made my dot marks in each corner, and then I merged the rectangle together into one shape. And then because I made that guideline already, I placed my art in on the right side and measured it in accordingly, sized it accordingly to the card. And then I added in all my details on the back. And from there, we saved it out as a PDF, printed it out on cardstock, and we were ready to go to the drawing board for scoring. I have a scoring board where I lay out my card and I grab my scoring utensil and I mark at the top of the page where the center line is going to be in the actual card. And I flip it over so that the art is facing down, and then I run the score utensil all the way down the page to make that full line crease. And then once that's complete, I move on to the cutting board, where I basically line up my ruler with my crop marks that I created in Illustrator. And from there, I cut it down to size. And then I use my special bone tool to line it up against the edge of that full line and pressing just lightly to make sure that crease is clean and that it folds nicely. And then to finish things off, I added in a very simple finish. I came in with silver metallic paint to highlight that ancient glow, and pretty much that glow of us channeling with our past. And that was basically everything that I wanted to showcase for this piece. It's a very deep piece, and I would love to hear from you guys what you thought about this piece and what do you think about, going back to the past, because a lot of people say, don't look in the past, keep moving forward. But sometimes I think that we need to fix some things in the past in order to move on stronger, because those things can weigh us down, and sometimes it can change the way that we think or the way that we view the world, because especially in our childhood, we could be stuck with these memories that have been causing us to not believe in certain things or not be able to understand something because it's something that was, taught to us, or a situation happened when you were little and it's still bugging you today, and you're having a hard time, let's say, making friends or trying to get that job or trying to get to that next stage in your life because something in the past is still locking you up. So this is just what I think. It was something that was shared to me about a couple months ago, and I really wanted to bring it forward. I hope that you guys enjoyed that video, and I hope that you stay tuned for more of my art videos. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful day, and I hope you all are staying safe and keep smiling, and we will get through this together. Bye!